So what we are basically doing is loading some data to S3 events data, and we're creating a Redshift cluster. We are creating a schema, and after that we are creating table. Okay, and since we need to connect our we're creating a custom IAM role which will have S3 glue KMS um, and S3 full access, glue access, Redshift access, and we're creating a database, glue database, and also we're creating crawler. This crawler will connect to S3 data, and we are editing to since we are creating a database in Redshift, that database schema, I mean the column name should match the glue crawler columns. And once we are doing a visual ETL using glue, what we are doing is we are connecting the glue catalog to the um, crawler, and then we are loading data back to Redshift. So basically, if I go here, we are connecting S3 data in crawler, and then we are doing transform in the um, glue ETL transform, and we are loading that data to Redshift table. So once if we go here, I have loaded the S3 event data in S3 bucket. Let's go to the steps once again here. Okay, I have loaded the S3. Now I am setting up Amazon Redshift. Okay, if I go to Redshift, I go here, click on query editor. If you see interactions DB, so create schema I have created. Then within that movie interactions Redshift, I have created transfound one and mentioned all these column names. Okay, here if you see int timestamp and int. Okay, now I have created IAM role and I have selected all this and I mentioned as glue shift role. Okay, now coming to data catalog, I have created a database and added table. If you see here, I have created a database. Okay, move interactions glue DB. Now I went to the crawler and I did a create crawler. Let me do here sample something. Next, add data source. Here I selected events bucket. Since I want as a directory, edit this. Added S3 data source. Select the data source. Next, I am selecting the created shift IAM role. Next, the database which I have created in the databases, and I am trying to prefix this ROS underscore. Okay, create crawler. So this crawler is created. Now what I did is I went into this crawler. Okay, I'm running the crawler now. Now I'm running the crawler. Now you go to database. Now if you go to databases, interactions DB, it created this one, right? You see this is RAWS, that's what we created. Now if I click here, go to columns or schema. Now we can edit here and match with our Redshift, because Redshift is having only ints. We are matching that. Okay, and timestamp here we are putting as timestamp. Here also we are removing begin. Now save as new table version. Okay, that's what we did here. So now we are going to do glue ETL to transform and load data into Amazon Redshift. For that we have to create endpoints, and also we have to edit our security groups. So once if I go into VPC section, here we are having endpoints. Where is that endpoint? Yeah. So we are having like 5 endpoints, right? So those are the ones which I have mentioned here. Redshift endpoint, all these endpoints we need to create. And after that we are going to set up the security groups. Yeah. So the security group which we have for Redshift, right? Basically we need to click on this, edit our inbound rules. So there was one existing one, I removed that and added the security group here, and again for the same security group for our cluster. So if you see here, this is the cluster, right? Again I did edit outbound rules. I removed the one and added this. So this is for all TCP HTTPS. Here this is the one S3, we have to express one, and the normal one we have to select the normal one, and we have to save. Once that is done, security groups connection is also done. Now we have to create a glue connection. Okay, go here, AWS glue, we go to connections, I have created an Redshift connection. Okay, let me show you edit. So I selected the provisioned Redshift demo cluster and interactions DB. I'm using the secrets manager, and I have selected the existing AWS secret, and I select the necessary role. Okay, and I did a Redshift connection. Once the Redshift connection is done in glue, so in glue I'm creating a Redshift connection. Okay, I'm going to visual ETL. Here I am selecting AWS glue catalog, and the database, movie interactions glue DB, and within that movie interactions we have raw. This is the previous one I created. Okay, that's what I'm selecting here, and once that is done, we have an option here to get data preview, right? You have a connection option here basically, or let me to create here itself. Visual ETL, visual ETL, ETL2. So I'm selecting the DB, I'm selecting the ROS something, I mean the table which I created. I'm selecting the glue shift role, and here I'm creating the I pressed on the start. That will give me the data preview here, which will take some time. So it's 60% almost ready. So data preview is being done. Yeah, if you see here 1 1, these two are duplicates, right? And again click on this, go to visual, go to transform, and we want to change schema, right? Here it should be event underscore times type. So we are changing the schema to match the Redshift table. So basically we did now, right? The interaction type we did as event and event time. So this will match the Redshift one. Now click on this, again go here. Now we want to drop duplicates. Okay, you see here we are doing distinct, and once again click on this, go to visual util where you want to put the target. I want to put it into S3. Now click here. We are doing a direct connection. We are selecting this Redshift connection. So we are selecting this database transformed one, and once it is, we are doing a truncate now. Okay. Yeah. Now do save. Okay. Now do run. I already did run, right? Now let's go to run details. It's running. Now we are since loading to Redshift, right? Click on our Redshift cluster to query editor. Now you are selecting the recent connection. Redshift DB. Yeah, so it's removed the duplicates 101. If you see, there is only, it removed the duplicates also, event time and type. Okay, so basically we did these all steps, right? We created a Redshift cluster and we created a schema and movie interactions DB, and we also created a glue crawler. Once we kept the data source to S3, it, it created some schema. We edited to match the two S3 column names, and then we created a Redshift connection. We did the ETL transformation, and again Since we need to load back to Redshift, we connected that one from our Glue ETL, like the final step, this one, Amazon Redshift, the connection, yeah. So basically we created a connection, Redshift connection within the Glue ETL connections. If you go here and you see there is one connection, right? This connection we are using in the Redshift target. Since we wanted to load back the transform data into Redshift, we need a connection from our Glue. So that connection we are creating here. And you already saw roles and the VPC endpoints. We created the VPC endpoints. And then we also created the subnet was already given, and security groups we edited, right? Yeah, this security group, the one that is there for the Redshift cluster, we actually did an edit and edited the inbound, and we added the security group of the existing cluster. And same thing again, we did the outbound also. Okay, so now if you see, it loaded the data to Redshift, transform data. So basically the crawler is connecting to S3 and ETL, Glue ETL is actually doing the ETL transformation via Glue Studio, and it's loading back to Redshift table. Here we created database and we once we created the database movie, where is the database name? Movie interactions Glue DB. Then we went to crawler and we created a crawler. Uh, that crawler actually loaded data back to where is this? Into this database, like it created this raw events from the crawler from S3. Go and edit. So it's creating a metadata tables in your catalog. This it created this table, and what we did is